If you're wondering what it really takes to change careers or to start your own business this year, then let's have a really frank discussion about that. Because here's one of the first things I would want to ask you. Well, how long have you already wanted to change careers or start your own business? How long have you actually been wanting to do this? That's also one of the first questions I'll ask when people come on my career change webinars, when they come on entrepreneurship webinars. I'll ask the people who are generally professionals in their 30s and 40s, I'll ask them, well, how long have you been wanting to make a change? And if you're like most of them, it's likely 2 to 4 years. In some cases, maybe more than 10 years, but it's rarely less than a year, right? Maybe you fell into the profession you're currently in and you always knew it wasn't the right thing. Or maybe something has happened in your private life that means that your current career is just not sustainable. Whatever it is, there's probably longer than a year that you wanted to change careers, right? So how come it hasn't happened? Well, let me ask you another frank question. If I had followed you around just for the last 12 months alone, over the last year, if I'd follow you around on a day-to-day basis, would it have been absolutely clear to me by the way you use your time, your money, your resources, your energy, that your transition was your number one priority? Would that have been absolutely clear to me if I'd followed you around on a day-to-day basis? Or did you consistently start and stop and start and stop? And was your transition consistently pushed away by other things, pushed to the side? Just give me a really honest answer. If you're in that second category, then that's the only, or not the only, but it's one of the main reasons why your transition hasn't happened yet. Because it wasn't your number one easily observable priority. And that's a fact. I see this again and again, and I want to be really honest with you. Whenever people come to me and they're like, Rikke, my transition is not really happening, one of the first things I ask them is like, well, show me your calendar. Would I know by looking at it that your transition is the most important thing for you? Because if it's not in your calendar or you're not carving out consistent time, energy, resources, money for it, then it's clearly not a priority of yours. So one of the activities I want you to do straight after this video is I want you to go over your calendar, whether that's a virtual or a paper calendar of the last year, and identify what is that kryptonite that is consistently taking away the time, the resources from your transition. So if you like many of my clients, it's Netflix. You know, Vikings and Black Mirror is fantastic, but not if it's killing your dreams. It might be internet shopping. It might be all kinds of procrastination activities. Maybe it's friends of yours who are sucking way too much time and energy. Whatever it is, you want to make sure you know what it is so you can change it. Because here's the deal. You can only have one priority at any time. The interesting thing is that the history behind the word priority was that until 1940, it was singular, i.e. there was no such thing as priorities. It was only ever a priority. And I want you to think about that when it comes to making your transition happen this year. It will happen when your transition is the number one priority that you spend time on outside of work. Because here's the deal, I know you're really busy, but the time that you do have available outside of work and outside of non-negotiable family commitments, that first of all needs to go to your transition. And that's also what priority actually means. It means prior or before everything else. So it's the one thing that comes first in your calendar, and it's the one thing that you plan ahead. I want you to think about a time in your life when you might have made a real big change. Why did it happen? It happened because you plucked away at it like your hair was on fire and you took action again and again until you got the result you wanted. Classic example to think about is getting fit, right? It is exactly the same thing with career change. Two things you want to think about: priority and consistency over time. So get your calendar out. Get very clear this year about when is it going to happen. Resolutions are vague and useless. If you want to change career or you want to start your own business this year, there is one thing you need to focus on, and that is commitment to making it your number one priority and being very clear about what your kryptonite is, and then take your time, your energy, your money, your resources back and pool it all into that one priority, and your transition will happen. It will be inevitable. So take really good care of yourself and make sure that your priority is your transition this year. If you want 3 very concrete strategies for getting started or back on track with it, because you might have too many ideas or none at all, come on over to rikke.me/kickstart and I'll show you exactly what to do. Thank you.